Hey, what's up everybody? Tarafdar back with a new video. Today I want to talk about the 5 secrets that'll help you successfully fix your credit and prevent you from running into obstacles. And the reason I want to share this with you guys is because I know a lot of you have been following my strategies. I've been trying to implement the strategies that I share with you on my channel, and you guys want to make sure that it's reliable and it's efficient. So for that reason, I want to go ahead and start you guys off with the secret number 1 to fixing your credit reliably. And that secret is essentially persistence. Now, a lot of you might say, well, Ali, that's the very basic thing to do. And the reality is it's not. Because if it was easy, a lot of people would be persistent to the end where they're actually going to get the outcomes to get their credit fixed. There's angles of persistence that we have to be aware of. Obviously, you cannot be persistent by trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, which is the dictionary version of insanity. But also with the credit bureaus, if we try to repeat the same strategy again and again, even though there's a lot of people out there on YouTube who are teaching the subject of credit repair, are saying be persistent and continue doing the same thing over and over again, the issue there is the EOSCR system can block it, considering it a frivolous dispute, which is actually quite a dangerous situation to put yourself in the first place. So that's the secret number 1. It's persistence, and persistence in the right direction. So I want you to really think about persistence in a way that you're trying to fix your credit, you're on the ball with it, you have all the different tools and strategies to be able to deploy to get the results. And then you're seeing that you're getting kickbacks from the credit bureaus, you're seeing that you're getting resistance from the bureaus. And during those instances, you're attempting to go ahead and re-strategize. And you're trying to think whether it's worth going and continuing on to your journey, or should you hire somebody to do it for you, or should you just give up and just wait until those items fall off. In that situation, persistence is critical. You have to think about, well, I've come so far, I've taken the steps to go ahead and send the campaigns to the credit bureaus. I've tried to create an attack strategy to help myself and to get the outcomes. So the only next step that is missing is essentially trying to figure out a way to go ahead and tackle those things in a very strategic way. So that level of persistence requires for you to understand your knowledge about personal credit, which is going to be our point number 2 as the secret to successful credit repair. So the first is, it has to be persistence, right? But the second is persistence with the right direction, which is the knowledge base. Where are you getting the source of information? How are you learning the material about fixing your personal credit? Who are you following, and what have you done so far? All these type of things are critical to your success when it comes to personal credit. The first thing I'd like to tell you guys is, I do teach a lot about personal credit on my channel. I talk about strategies that are a little bit above the standard of the legalities, which is the FCRA, the FCBA, FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices, the Fair Credit Billing, the Fair Credit Reporting. But what I'm talking about is knowledge base in reference to basic common sense when it comes to credit reports. Secret number 2 requires you to analyze your credit reports and really thoroughly know the ins and outs of how an item should be reported, whether they're reporting compliantly, which is a huge issue that I've seen a lot of people come across, and whether, first of all, they have the right to report in the first place. So with persistence, you need to have the knowledge, because if you don't have the knowledge, then you're basically going to fail. And no matter how much you try with persistence, without the right knowledge, you will not be able to fix your personal credit, which leads us to point number 3. Point number 3 is having the knowledge is great, being persistent is amazing, but what strategy are you using? So number 3 requires us to hone in on a very specific set of strategies. And it's not just an individual type of strategy. We have to focus on a set of strategies. A set of strategies is when you have a series of different items in your credit reports, and you have to handle those type of items based on the way they were meant to be handled, right? It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. See, a lot of gurus out there when they're teaching personal credit, and they're trying to tell you to go ahead and use their campaigns or their different type of strategies that they have. The issue is they have a huge tendency of putting all the items in a bundle and making you feel that that is the only strategy that you need to deploy. The reality is you need a set of strategies. Each negative item has their own individual characteristics. They have to be handled their own individual way. And from that angle, you have to create a set of strategies that complies or comprises of an attack that handles those negative items based on the type of item they are. A clear example of this is a lot of debt collectors put negative items in your credit reports, and you guys might have medical situations and medical bills. For the original creditor, which would have been a hospital or a private medical facility, to communicate the fact that you have a debt on your credit and that you had a debt with that medical facility, and to then sell it off on a book entry level to a debt collector is considered illegal. It's actually considered a violation of the HIPAA law. So just on that alone, that's a different strategy. You have to tackle the negative item, which is the debt collection item, based on those requirements about the HIPAA law. Then you might have charged off accounts that are showing on your credit report. Those charged off accounts might have been closed off for a long time, but the information that they're reporting and how they're reporting comprises of a lot of errors, which has factually been proven by hundreds of my customers. To understand how to tackle that requires a set of different strategy, which is geared only towards that level of misinformation when it comes to charge-offs. Then you might have some late payments that are showing up. It could have been due to COVID, where your banks decided to give you a deferred payment. However, on the credit reports, they're showing it as a mistake, as a late payment. And we discussed this in one of my previous videos, that late payments need to be handled in a very specific way. But unfortunately, see, a lot of people don't necessarily know how to do that, but that too requires a different set of strategies. So that's our point number 3. And that's the secret number 3 when it comes to reliably fixing your credit, which is understand a different set of strategies. So far, what do we got? We've got that you need persistence. Excuse me. Number 2, we got the idea that you need knowledge, the right knowledge. The third one is understand the set of strategies that you're going to deploy. The fourth is understanding how to communicate with the credit bureaus. Now, we talked about the strategies. We talked about understanding the knowledge and being persistent. But how do you actually go ahead and reach out to the credit bureaus? And what strategies should you use to make sure that you're effectively communicating with them? The first thing you need to understand when it comes to that is you cannot solely rely on a letter campaign. Sure, the letter campaigns are the traditional forms of getting things done. It is the standard of actually fixing negative items in your credit report, as the creditors and the credit bureaus say, hey, look, if you want to dispute, this is the way to do it. However, I need you to think outside the box. We talk quite a bit about thinking outside the box on my channel. So I want you guys to go ahead and think about what other means are there when it comes to communicating with the bureaus. And I want you to think about alternative angles, where I don't just focus on directly communicating with the bureaus, but also think about reaching out. Excuse me. I don't want you guys to just think about the alternative angles, but I also want you to think about reaching out to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, not as effective as they used to be, but at least your Attorney General's office, your State Attorney General's office, their State Attorney General's office, and even the Federal Trade Commission, for all I know. So that's the fourth thing that we need to worry about. So yeah, going back to the fourth is understand how to communicate with the bureaus. That's the very effective way. So try alternative angles, try ways to put peer pressure on them from agencies that are outside of the credit reporting agencies. Try your Attorney General's office, their Attorney General's office, the Federal Trade Commission on an advertising policy basis. And think of communication that way. Sometimes the Better Business Bureau also helps out, so you might want to consider that as well. So those are some of the strategies in reference to getting your message across to the bureaus. And the fifth and final secret I'd like to give you guys when it comes to fixing your personal credit. So the fifth and final point, like I said, is don't just think about fixing your personal credit, but think about also what are some of the things that you can do with your existing creditors, how you can enhance those relationships. Can you go back and try to get strategic credit bumps with your existing limits? That will help you with the utilization. Obviously, as we know that's very important. And also there are certain other things that you can do. Like if you would look at your utilization, can you reduce some of the interest rates, which helps you try to pay down some of the minimum payments a little bit more aggressively? Can you apply for new accounts without that hurting your credit? Or you have too many inquiries? Is there ways that you can salvage that and try to fix that? Try to think about forward motion when it comes to your personal credit. I'm talking about some of the things that you want to do. If you want to get a mortgage, you need to enhance your credit accounts. You need to create additional accounts that'll help you enhance the credit profile to make it look more diverse and a little bit more extensive when it comes to your personal credit. And then, of course, go from funding after that fact. So once you get that realized and you're comfortable with those angles, only then you've achieved a proper route to fixing your personal credit. So those were the 5 secrets to fixing personal credit. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat that for you guys so that we can go ahead and retune. First, understand that you need to be persistent, and I'm talking about persistence in the right direction. Number 2, you guys need to have the right knowledge. So you need to be skilled in learning the very different ideas and the knowledge base about personal credit. You need to know where to go ahead and access that information outside of my channel, of course, as well. The third thing you need to do is you need to understand the strategies and the set of strategies for every different type of items that you have in your credit report. And that requires for you to really understand deep down how to read those items and how to differentiate between who they are and what attack strategy you should be using. Point number 4 was you need to understand on how to communicate with the credit bureaus so that you can get your message across effectively to get the best type of outcomes. And we talked about going outside the credit reporting letter writing campaign and really reaching out to the Attorney General's office, to their Attorney General's office, the Federal Trade Commission, the Better Business Bureau, and all sorts of other agencies that will neglect or they will bypass the negligence of the credit reporting agency due to the fact that they're external parties. And the final point here is think outside of just credit repair. You have to start fixing your credit ahead of schedule and to start building up some proper credit accounts, work with your existing creditors to enhance the relationships that you have, and then go from there. So I hope that this video gave you guys a bit of insight on some of the 5 secrets to fix your personal credit. These 5 things, if you follow them to the T, if you understand exactly what you need to do, and you wholeheartedly follow the process, I promise you guys will get amazing credit. In addition to that, you'll be ready to be fundable in the near future. So with that said, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and this is your first time watching my videos, and you've enjoyed the content I've been sharing so far, don't forget to subscribe and turn the notifications on to all, so every time that there's videos like these, you guys will be the first to know. In addition to that, if you like this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up. It'll definitely help spread the message here on YouTube. If you have any specific questions in reference to the 5 secrets that I shared with you guys, go ahead and ask in the comment section below this video. And if you're interested in leveling up your knowledge about personal credit and taking that information to the next level to get the best strategies possible in the market today when it comes to fixing your credit, check out my course, The Ultimate Personal Credit Mastery 2.0. The link is in the description of this video. I'll definitely invite you over so that you can go ahead and get the best knowledge that you need to go ahead and fix your personal credit. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is your guide and mentor, Ali Tarafdar. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.